Good morning, Juventini. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Alberto. It's Wednesday, March 8th. I got all this morning's news surfacing around Juventus. We're going to talk about TAR. That's right, the regional court that has made a ruling in favor of Juventus. We're going to take a look at the details of that as that broke through yesterday afternoon. Then we're going to take a look at the latest on Arkadiusz Milik. Now, Rabiot. It is determined and finally posted flat out. He is leaving. What does this mean for Juventus? Who are their targets? Then, of course, we've got the game tomorrow against Freiburg. We're going to take a look at Max Allegri's press conference with Kostic next to him, all right, and go through the projected lineup. Let's get into it. All right, everybody, if you enjoy the content, please like the video and, of course, subscribe to the channel. It all helps. Now, let's get to it. So yesterday, the big bomb that dropped in the afternoon was that TAR, the regional courts, have ruled in favor of Juventus. What have they ruled in favor for? Basically, the documentation that was between Kovacic and the prosecutors, okay, which was held back from Juventus that Juve was fighting to get their hands on. TAR has come in and said that, yes, Kovacic has to present this to Juventus. And this is what should be unlocking everything and showing that the prosecution has actually missed the cutoff dates to file and everything, which should make everything null and void and see Juventus get their 15 points back. Apparently, the ruling will come once, obviously, they get this paper and finalize and file everything. And it is being reported that the FIGC will not be present in front of Coney, that they're just going to not take anybody's side and just stand back on this one. This should overturn the original 15 points, but that ruling won't come until after Easter, all right? However, the other reports still in terms of the salary case come out shortly after this, saying that what's going to most likely happen, what this scenario could be for Juventus is the prosecution still fights for points even in the salary case. What Juve faces in terms of the salary case is a hefty fine, okay? So a big fine and potentially half of their points is what the prosecution is going after. So, in theory, we could see Juventus get their 15 points back, but then cut half of that off. However, Juventus is clearly going to fight this. Now, Juve also has yet another opportunity. Should this ruling come down and we get the 15 points back, it also sets a precedent for everything else, and Juve could fight back, and there should be counter suits issued. Basically, if you're asking me, Juve should push back full throttle because the damage has already been done, all right? But that is the latest news, and it is good news in terms of TAR ruling in favor of Juventus. Now we can get the document, which should unlock everything and see the ruling overturned on the 15 points. But still a long way to go, everybody, one day at a time. Now, Arkadiusz Milik, the latest on him, apparently he is in a race. We were hearing he should be back after the break, but he is racing to get back in for March 19th against Inter in the Derby d'Italia. The latest on Milik, too, and his renewals, that obviously discussions are going to take place this month, and it is highly likely that he will renew with Juventus. Adrian Rabiot, latest report from Giovanni Albanese, says he is leaving in the summer. Done, determined, finalized, period, finito. He is leaving. All right, now, the options by Gazzetta being listed are Fratesi, Hulman, Gonzalez, Koopmeiners, and Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. Right away, just take everything with a grain of salt, but let's think about this. Fratesi, we know, wants Roma, okay? Sergej Milinkovic-Savic has been reported last week that Juventus is no longer on Sergej Milinkovic-Savic or his trail, and I think that's just simply the financials, okay, and the numbers, and he's got one more year under contract. Koopmeiners got a high price tag from Atalanta. Gonzalez and Hulman, possibly, all right? But the big part is Rabiot is leaving. Szczesny, the latest reports on Szczesny that are getting Juventini fired up because a lot of Juventini want Perin to be the starting goalkeeper. Szczesny has interest from Tottenham. Okay, it is being reported that the replacements for Juventus would be Vicario, and they even throw in Donnarumma there. How nice of the tabloids to get us all fired up on Donnarumma. Listen, Vicario or Carnesecchi seem to be the main guys. Do not forget Perin still has another year beyond Szczesny's. Okay, so Szczesny's got 1 more year under contract. Perin has 2 more. So I expect there to be a season where Perin is the #1 goalkeeper and we integrate a younger goalkeeper in behind him. Now keep in mind, even with the interest in Szczesny, Szczesny has stated he wants to see things through at Juventus and he is happy at Juventus. So there you have it. Now, the big one tomorrow. We've got Europa League against Freiburg tomorrow, and the game is going to be a very, very intense one because Juve's got to get the job done. Today, Max Allegri and Kostic took to the press conference. Kostic really spoke about Freiburg, saying that, look, obviously he's played against them because he came to us from the Bundesliga, and he said that they are a compact and a very solid team, and Juventus is going to have to be very, very sharp. Max Allegri says that we are going to have to approach this with a very positive attitude, and I want to see a positive attitude, and I want to see us to lay the foundations that will take us through beyond the second leg. Hey, we all do, Max. We all do, all right? So hopefully it works out. He didn't state a whole lot in terms of the starting lineup and what we are going to see, He said that Pogba is training. And this is very typical of Max to keep everything in and not let anything out. I had a discussion with Romeo Agresti where Romeo Agresti told me he hates when the lineups get leaked, but it always happens because you have players there with family members in the stands and whatnot. So it always ends up getting out, but Max absolutely hates it. So in his presser, do not expect him to spill the beans ahead of a European tie, okay? And he wasn't. He said Sandro he is unsure of. So Bonucci has the potential of starting in this one. He said he's going to have to see how he feels and if he can get in there. Pogba, they're going to see how he did after full training today and whatnot. There is the potential, obviously, for Paul Pogba to start, but Max still has to evaluate. We do have a projected lineup here that Mirko Di Natale reported of what we could potentially see, and that's Szczesny, Bremer, Bonucci, Danilo, with De Sciglio out on the right wing back, Bajoli, Locatelli, Rabiot in the middle, Kostic as your left wing back, and then Di Maria and Vlahovic up top. Juventini, that wraps things up. Do not forget, I'm live tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We're going to get hyped up for this game and tackle everything, the projected lineups, everything, and get pumped up for this one. What do you think about the lineups? What do you think about all the news you heard today? Drop it in the comments section, and do not forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. As always, until tomorrow when we see you live in the morning, fino alla fine, forza Juve. Ciao tutti.